Hi, this is Mike from Mike's Deep Run Railroad. Here I'm going to show you how I lay out the track on my templated board. I'm aligning the switch to the transfers made from the anyrail template onto the baseboard. And what I'm doing here is I'm going to get the location of the throws and mark those with a black marker. And then I'm going to drill through the board showing the center line of all of the connecting points on the switch, and that's going to be important for when I flip the board over. So now that since I have those throw marks, you can see that I've extended them here, and I'm drilling the hole for the switch motor, and then I'm going to vacuum up the dust, keeping everything nice and clean, and I'm about ready to turn it over. So here I've turned it over and I took the drill holes from the other side and lined them up and marked them with a ruler. I've done a perpendicular mark to the center of the switch motor throw, and I'm going to use that with this tortoise template. And I put the two dots at the top align with the vertical in this picture, and then the longitudinal line goes through the switch throw, and that aligns with the long straight line, and that gives you the locations for your 4 securing screws. There's the template, and here I've got 2 screws to help me with the switch motor. Here I've put in the holes for this mounting. I've centered the bar on the tortoise motor, and I used 2 screws to help hold it in place while I check the alignment. Now here I can see the throw bar is centered in the hole, left and right through the dots, and longitudinally along the long line. And here you can see that I've installed several motors, and it's only taking me about 15-20 minutes. This is the wiring that used to control the tortoise. It's a DigiKey module, and I use the clips or the screw-based connectors on the motors instead of soldering. Here you can see the current sensor module and how I connect to the previous board. I use all my inputs on my current sensors, and sometimes they span 2 boards, and that's how I use the Molex connectors to connect them. Showing here my tool layout. I have a tray for all of my big tools for the task I'm working on sorted together. I got a bin storage for all the screws. I got my vacuum cleaner. I have 2 drill motors, rulers. I use anyrail to locate the blocks sensor values. I also use an anyrail template to identify the isolation locations for the blocks. And I also use it to verify the measurements. When I'm connecting 2 boards together, I primarily use the previous board to do the alignment and verify with anyrail. Here you can see the switch installed, the 2 locating holes I drilled to the pattern from above that I transferred to below. All of the switch motors line up very nicely, making sure to center them before you install them. There I'm pointing out the isolation locations. Here is a track spacer that I printed out from Thingiverse. They come in a couple of different sizes. I'll show you more on that in a minute. When I go to lay the flex track, I use a long straight edge. I install the switches before any track, and then I install the track between the switches. That way the switches don't move and lose their alignment. Here I do a parallel and an alignment, and I use these screws with the large heads to locate the track. This device is a Micromart track alignment tool. I use it to smooth the flex, to straighten it. Just run it along and it'll move, push it, all the curves into a straight alignment. Here's showing the previous board with the new board next to it, showing the track alignment. Here are a couple of those spacers. My main line is based on a 2-inch separation. This spacer is 2.5. There you go. And how it works, it has these little notches inside of the print, and those just sit on top of the rail. And when you put it together, you can adjust the flex so that it is exactly the 2 inches or 2.5 inches, whatever size you print out, and you can leapfrog those down the track to keep perfect alignment. Here is the underneath of the board where I show the feeders for each of the tracks coming through and going back to the DR4088 current sensor. That is connected to other sensors across the board going back to the control module. This is for block detection. Here are the feeders from the other side, and here are the feeders on the top, all soldered to the rails. Putting them in a line makes it nice and neat underneath. The bolt here, I'm going to do a run of a little switcher on the track. Admittedly, I had a problem with a frog at that switch and had to fix, but everything else has worked well. So I hope you've enjoyed this video and a little bit of a switch operation here on Mike's Deep Run Railroad. We'll see you next time.